Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we are now in late 2025, practically knocking on the door of 2026, and honestly, the smartphone landscape has shifted a lot in the last couple of months. With the iPhone 17 series officially out for over a month now, the dust has kind of settled, and it got me thinking, where does that leave the iPhone 16 lineup? I've got two phones here that I've been spending a lot of time with. This one is the base iPhone 16 in this really nice pink color, which by the way I've had since May, and this sleek desert titanium iPhone 16 Pro. Now, usually when a new iPhone drops, the old one just fades away, right? But this year feels different. The iPhone 17 made some massive jumps, finally bringing ProMotion to the base model, which makes looking back at these 16s really interesting. So in this video, we're going to look at how these phones are holding up, check out the battery health after months of use, see how they handle the new iOS 26 liquid glass update, and ultimately answer the big question: if you're sitting on an older iPhone, should you grab a last year 16 or is the 17 just too good to ignore? Let's get into it. First, let's talk about this pink iPhone 16. I gotta say, design-wise, it still feels really modern. I've been using this specific unit as a secondary phone for my reviews since May 2025, and physically, it's held up great. The aluminum feels premium, and the color-infused glass back has this matte texture that I really like. But we have to address the display. Look, the OLED panel here is fantastic. The colors are punchy, the brightness is decent, and for watching movies or YouTube, it's great. But it is still a 60Hz panel, and now that the iPhone 17 is out, starting at the same launch price, and it has that 120Hz ProMotion display and those thinner bezels, it's tough, guys. When I switch between my main phone and this 16, I definitely feel that lack of smoothness. It's not slow, but it's just not fluid. If you are currently using an iPhone 16, you might be feeling a little jealous of the 17 users right now. I know I would be. It's a big consideration if you're thinking about buying this phone today. If you've never used the 120Hz, you might not mind, but in late 2025, 60Hz at this price point is, yeah, it's a hard sell. Performance-wise though, this thing is a little beast. It's rocking the A18 chip. I actually ran some Geekbench 6 tests recently. I got a 3154 on single core and 7875 on multi-core. For the GPU, it scored 28043. What does that mean in real life? It means day-to-day tasks are flying, apps open quickly, swiping is responsive, and a huge part of that is the 8GB of RAM. I can't stress this enough. If you're coming from an older iPhone with 4GB or 6GB of RAM, you know that pain where apps constantly reload in the background. With 8GB on this iPhone 16, multitasking is actually solid. It keeps apps in memory so much better. I've been doing some gaming on here too, from casual stuff to heavy hitters like Assassin's Creed Mirage, and honestly, it plays pretty good. It's impressive that a phone this size can run AAA titles. However, it's not perfect. I do notice some frame drops when the action gets intense and the phone gets warm. Like noticeably warm if you play for a long session. It's not burning hot, but the thermal management on the base model just isn't as robust as the Pro. Quick update on the battery for this pink unit. Like I said, I started using it back in May 2025. It's sitting at 111 cycle count right now, and believe it or not, the battery health is still at 100%. Now, full disclosure, this isn't my daily driver. I use it as a secondary phone, backup, media consumption, gaming tests, so it's not getting hammered with 5G all day long. But still, 100% after 7 months is pretty reassuring. Also with the new iOS 26, I've noticed the adaptive power feature really helps squeeze out a bit more juice during idle times. Okay, switching gears to the iPhone 16 Pro. This one is in desert titanium, and personally, I think this is the best color. It's sleek, it's elegant, it just looks expensive. Here's the cool thing about this specific unit. I bought it used from a friend just last month in November. It was originally purchased in January 2025, so it's almost a year old. But check this out, battery health is also at 100% with 173 cycles. That is insane value. Since the 17 Pro came out, the prices on these 16 Pros have dropped, making them a seriously tempting option. I skipped the 16 Pro last year and stuck with my 15 Pro, eventually upgrading to the 17 Pro as my main daily driver, but using the 16 Pro as my backup, I'm realizing how good it still is. The 6.3-inch display is perfect. It's got that 120Hz ProMotion, so everything is buttery smooth. The brightness is still absolutely decent, even though the 17 Pro goes up to 3000 nits. This 16 Pro is plenty bright for me. Performance on the Pro is, unsurprisingly, a step up. My Geekbench 6 results were 3,448 single core and 8,748 multi-core with a metal GPU score of 32,766. In gaming, the thermals are much improved compared to the 15 Pro. It still gets warm, sure, but it's not that annoying concentrated heat we used to get. It feels more spread out. Camera-wise, you're getting that 48 megapixel main and ultra wide on both of these base and Pro models. And the results are of course still really good for today's standard. But on the Pro, you got plus the 5x telephoto zoom. That 5x zoom is honestly a game changer if you're coming from an older Pro. Plus 4K 120 FPS video recording is just chef's kiss. But I gotta be real with you guys about the camera control button. When this launched, everyone was hyping it up after using it. For me, it's not that useful. It's nice to have a dedicated launcher, but trying to slide your finger to zoom or change settings feels a bit fiddly. I usually just end up using the touchscreen because it's faster. It's a cool Pro feature, but definitely not a deal breaker if you don't have it. Now let's talk software. Both these phones are running the latest public stable iOS 26, released a few months ago. Guys, I really appreciate what Apple did here. The new liquid glass design language is wow. It's got these new refractal animations and fluid morphing effects that just make the phone feel alive. Going back to iOS 18 feels like stepping back in time. There is a huge gap in the design quality. On the 16 series, iOS 26 is super fluid. I did notice the phone's getting a bit warm the first couple of days after the update, probably just re-indexing files, but it's settled down. Now, regarding Apple Intelligence, I know this is a big selling point, but I'm gonna be honest with you, for me, right now, it's not a huge deal. It still feels kind of early days, almost like a beta. It's cool for some summaries and writing tools, but for heavy lifting, I usually find myself opening the Gemini app or ChatGPT because they just feel more powerful and reliable for what I need. So if you're buying this just for the AI, maybe temper your expectations a bit. The 8GB RAM handles it fine, but the features are still maturing. So here's the conclusion. Is the iPhone 16 series worth it in late 2025 heading into 2026? If you're looking at the base iPhone 16 unless you find a crazy good deal, it's tough to recommend buying it new right now. The iPhone 17 base model is just a massive leap. You get the 120Hz display, 256GB base storage, thinner bezels and better cameras for the same launch price. If you buy a 16 now, you're gonna feel that refresh rate envy. If you're looking at the iPhone 16 Pro, this is where the smart money is. If you can find a used or refurbished 16 Pro like I did, it is an incredible value flagship. You're getting 95% of the iPhone 17 Pro experience, the 120Hz screen, the 5x zoom, the titanium build for way less money. If you already own an iPhone 16, keep it. It's running iOS 26 beautifully. The 8GB RAM keeps it relevant and the battery life is solid. Don't feel pressured to upgrade just for slightly thinner bezels. Anyway, that's my take. I'm super excited to see how these phones age over the next year, but for now, they are still holding their ground, mostly. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments if you're Team 16 or if you jumped straight to the 17. Catch you in the next one.